يعني مستر نقصنا كده.
So suppose I have what? I have a parallelogram like this. You will notice that in a parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal in length. And you will notice also we have a long side and a short what? A short side. So the question now, what if I form a parallelogram, but I'll make the four sides are what? Are the same. The four sides are what? Congruent, or have the same what? Have the same length. Okay, this one and this one and this one, all sides have the same what length. In a parallelogram, the opposite side only equals in what? Equals in length, the opposite. The long sides are equal and the short sides, the opposite short sides are equal. But if the four sides have the same length, that means the shape will be changed to what? Rhombus. Its name will be what? Rhombus. So what is a rhombus? A rhombus is a parallelogram with two adjacent sides are equal in length. Adjacent sides means come next to each other, this one and this one. For example, if this 10 centimeter, then this one will be some 10 centimeter, 10 centimeter, and 10 centimeter. All of them are what? Are the same. So this is what? This is the rhombus. And the plural is rhombi. So rhombi means the plural form of what? Of rhombus. So if you have two, so it's two, you will not two rhombus. We'll say two rhombi, three rhombi like this. One rhombus. Okay, guys, singular is what? Rhombus. Plural is rhombi. Okay, so because the rhombus is a parallelogram, it is a parallelogram. This means it will keep the properties of parallelogram, all properties of parallelogram, which is what? The opposite angle are congruent. So opposite angle are what? Congruent. That means these angles are congruent, the opposite angles. And these two opposite also are what? Are congruent. And the successive angles are supplementary. That means any two angles in the same line, that means their sum is 180. So angle, this is A, B, C, D. This means measure of angle A plus B equals 180. B plus C equals 180. C plus D 180. D plus A 180. This is successive angle. So what about the diagonals? What if I join the diagonals? So in a we know that in a parallelogram, the diagonals are what, guys? The diagonals bisect each other, bisect each what? The others. And also the diagonals and rhombus bisect each other. Not only this, the diagonal bisect what? The angles, the opposite angle joining between them. That means these four angles, the four angles will be what? Will be equal. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, all of them have are equals in measure. Okay, guys. So if you join the diagonal, so we will get what, guys? We will get the diagonals will divide or bisect the opposite what? The opposite angle. That means we will get what? We will get 4 equals angle. Also, if you join the second diagonals like this, also we will get another 4 what? Another 4 angles. These 4 angles also are what, guys? Are equals angle 3, I'm sorry, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, angle 8. All of them are what? Are equals, guys. So angle 1, 2, 3, 4 are equals because they are on the same what? On the same line. Angle 5, 6, 7, 8 are what? Are equals. So what else? So we have what, guys? We have from the parallelogram, the diagonal bisect each other. That means this part will be equal this part. M is a midpoint. Okay, guys. And this one, this part will be equals to what? This part. So AM equals MC. And DM equals M what? MB. Like what? Like the diagonals in parallelogram. What more? The diagonal are perpendicular. This property is special for rhombus only. You will find it in a rhombus, not in a parallelogram. The diagonals are what? Are perpendicular. Are what? Perpendicular. So what is the meaning of perpendicular? That means these four angles are 90 degrees. This angle is 90 degree. And this one also will be 90 degree. 90 degree. And this one also will be what? Will be 90 what? 90 degrees. So the four angles around the diagonals, so 90, 90, 90, 90. This is the meaning of the diagonal are what? The diagonals are perpendicular. So this is the property of what? The property of rhombus. Again, all sides are equals. The opposite angles are equals. The consecutive angles are supplementary. If you draw the diagonal will bisect the corners joining between them. That means angle 1, 2, 3, 4 are equals. Angle 5, 6, 7, 8 are what? Are equal. Okay. Also, the diagonal bisect each other. That means the distance DM equals MP, AM equals M what? MC. The diagonals are perpendicular. That means the four angles included between the diagonals are what? Are 90 degree. All of them are what? 90 degree. So this is all about what? This is all about the rhombus. Okay. So let's take example. And the shape, the diagonals of a rhombus FGHJ intersect at K. Use the given information to find each measure or value. Measure of angle FGH equals 82. FJH. So this one, all this angle is what? Is 90, 82. And we wanted to find angle KHG. KHJ, this one. KH, this angles. We wanted to find what? We wanted to find this angle, the measure of this angle. يا شباب حد عنده فكرة؟ Okay, let's start at the beginning. Where this angle is located? It is what, guys? It is a part of angle H. It's a part of angle what? Of angle H. That's right. This angle is what? Considered half angle what? Considered half equals half angle X because
half,
yeah.
half equal half. يعني نص نص.
Yeah, because you know that the diagonal bisect what? Bisects the angle. That means each one of them are what? Are half. So angle A is half angle B. Angle 7 half angle B. 5 is half angle D, and 6 is half what? Angle D. Also, we know that If I know this angles, I can find angle H. Angle, what is the relation between angle J and angle H? So I told you the rhombus takes the property of parallelogram. The opposite angle are congruent. The consecutive angles are what are supplementary. Angle J and angle H are not opposite, but they are what? They are consecutive. They are in the same what? In the same line. That means measure of angle H and measure of angle J, their sum is 180. That means measure of angle H well equals 180 minus 82. Minus what? Minus 82. So the answer will be what, guys? The answer will be 8. 90 what? 98 degrees. This is the whole angle of angle what? Of angle H. Now we know that angle H is split into two angles and both of them are equal. That means measure of angle KHJ equals half multiplied by 90 what? 98. Half multiplied by what? 98. So the half of this angle is what? 40 what? 49 degree. أي سؤال يا شباب الفهم جات ازاي؟
لا يا مستر لا.
ما فهمت؟ فهمت ولا لا؟
بقول ما فيش أي سؤال.
طيب اوكي. The same shape guys, we wanna, let me erase this. Now we will talk about sides. If GH equals x plus 9, where is GH? This one. So this line is 9 plus x. And JH, this one, is 5x plus minus 2. And we wanted to find the value of x. So what is the relation between these two lines, guys?
Equal.
Very good. Sides of the rhombus are equals. All of them are what? Are equals. The four sides in a rhombus are equal. That means GH equals JH. That means x plus 9 well equals 5x minus what? Minus 2. We'll solve the equation and find the value of what? The value of x. So x minus 5x will be equals negative 2, negative 9. So these two will be negative 4x will equals negative what? Negative 11. We'll divide by negative 4. So that means x equals 11 over what? 11 over 4. You can use your calculator, divide them, and write what? The answer as what? As the sum. Okay, guys. So any question? Also, we are still in the same shape. Fk, I want one of you to solve this one. Fk equals 5. Fk equals 5. So this line. And Fg equals 13. Fg, this one equals what? So this is 5, 30. And we wanted to know Kg, this line. So when we are working with the rhombus, guys, Pythagoras theorem will pop up. So what is the Pythagoras theorem? Let me revise you. Revise is the Pythagoras theorem. The Pythagoras theorem happened in what? Or occurred in right triangle. right what? Triangle. A right triangle, each side has what? Has an A. The side opposite to angle 90 degree, its name is hypotenuse. And the sides form the right angle, each one of them, its name is what? Its name is leg. So leg and leg. We use Pythagoras theorem to find what? The length of one side of a triangle. If the length of two sides are what are given. Okay, guys. So if the missed one is the hypotenuse, so the rules will be like this: the hypotenuse squared will equals leg squared plus what? Leg squared. So if the hypotenuse is missed, for example, if I draw like this, right triangle, this one is 3, this one is 4, and ask you to find what? To find the length of this line. This line in this case is the hypotenuse because it's opposite to what? Opposite to 90 degree. So will be the hypotenuse square will be equals 4 squared plus what? 3 squared. Okay. So will be 16 plus what? 9 will be equals 24. So x squared equals 24. This means x equals root 20 what? 25, which is 5. That's that if the hypotenuse is missed. What if one of the two legs are missed? So that means we will use this formula. Leg squared equals hypotenuse squared minus the second leg. The second what? Leg squared. Okay. So let's go back to our question. You will notice that I draw what? A triangle. And you know that the diagonals are perpendicular. That means this angle is what? 90 degree. 90 what? 90 degree. That means we are in a right triangle. In a right what? Triangle. And I asked you to find what? To find KJ. We wanted to find K what? KJ. I can't find KJ, but I can find JK. If I find JK, so JK and KJ, they are the same. They are what? They are equals. If I could find the value of KJ. So
KJ?
KJ in this case is a leg or hypotenuse, guys? KJ is a leg or hypotenuse?
Hypotenuse.
No.
Hypotenuse.
Look carefully.
No, miss it.
Nah, it's not hypotenuse.
It is a leg, not a hypotenuse. A hypotenuse opposite to 90 degree. This is angle 90. So
Mr. Rakesh.
yeah, so 13 is the hypotenuse because it's opposite to 90 degrees. JK is one of the two legs. The second leg is 5. So if the leg is missed, so that means JK squared will be equals the hypotenuse squared minus the second leg 5 squared, like so it will be 169 minus 25, so it will be 144. So JK will be equal square root, so we have GK squared, guys, GK squared. So when we find the value of GK squared, we will take square root to remove the power. So root 144. So the answer will be what? 12. So this line is what? Is 12. And JK will be equal GK. So both of them are what? Are 12. Any question, guys? Okay, the next one. The next one, if measure of angle, let me erase all of this. JFK angle, JFK, this one. And angle KFG, this one. So what is the relation between them? Yes, guys, what's the relation between them? Okay, شباب.
Congruent.
Yeah, yes. So these four are what? Are congruent. 1, 2, 3. All of them are congruent, guys. Okay, the opposite angle or the angles around what? The same diagonals are what? Are congruent. That means 9y minus 5 will be equal 6y plus what? Plus 7. So this is the relation. So 9y minus 5 will be equal 6y plus what? Plus 7. So we'll solve the equation, this one. Yeah. 9y minus 6y will equal 7 plus what? Plus 5. So 9 minus 6, it will be what? Will be 3y, and this one will be 12. Divided by 3, divided by 3. So y equals what? Equals 4. So we wanted to find the value of what? Value of y. Okay. Now we'll take what? This square. So what if, so square, I can form square by two ways, guys. Square, I can get square from rhombus or from what? From diagonal. So what if I have a rhombus and make one of the angles are what? Are 90 degrees. Okay, guys, I have a rhombus. Yeah, so I'll draw a rhombus. The four sides are what? Are equal. But you will notice that they are what? All of the angles inside are obtuse and acute. What if I change one of them and make it what? Make it 90 degree like this, or make it right angle. So the rhombus will be changed to what? Changed to a square. So a square is a rhombus with 90 degree angle. Okay. So the second case, what if I have a rectangle? I have what? A rectangle. A rectangle like a parallelogram, we have a long side and a short side. What if in a rectangle, the length and the width of the rectangle are what? Are equal. That means it will be changed to what? Will be changed to a square. So a rhombus with angle 90 degree changed to square. A rectangle with two successive sides are equals, change to what? Change to a square. So a square is what, guys? We can get a square from what? From a rhombus, or from what? From a square. So this is the four, guys, the four a summary for what we studied. So we have rhombus, guys, and a rhombus, the four sides are equals. In a rectangle, the four angles inside are equal, and the measure of each one is 90 degrees. A square takes the property of a square, of a rhombus, rectangle, parallelogram. So what is the property of squares, guys? Squares, in a square, everything are equals in a square, guys. So, for example, all sides are equals. All sides are what? Are equals. All angles are equals. 90, 90, 90, 90. What else? If you join the diagonals, the diagonals also are equals. The diagonals are what? Are equals. So A, B, C, D. So the diagonals are what? Are equals. Okay, that means the four sides, this one, this part, the four parts are what? Are congruent, all of them. Also, the diagonals are perpendicular. That means this angle is 90, 90, 90.
90, 90.
Like what? Like the rhombus. Also, we have when we joining the opposite corners to form what? To form the diagonals, you will notice that we got 8 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. all of them are equals. And the measure of each one is 45 degrees. Because we divide what? We divide 90 into
90 by 2.
we divide 90 into two angles, two equals angles. So 90 divided by 2, 45. So that means this angle is 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45. So all of them are what? Are equal. So this is the property of what? Of square. The pars, the corresponding pars are what? Are congruent. Sides are equal, the angles are equal, the diagonals are equal, the part of the diagonals are equal. The angles that the diagonals by when we draw the diagonal bisects the opposite corner. The measure of each one of them are equals, and the measure of each one of them is 45 degrees. The angles, the diagonals are perpendicular. That means the four angles around the point of intersection are what? Are 90 degrees. All of them is 90 what? 90 degree. So this is what, guys, this is a property of parallelogram. The property of the property of square, guys. Property of what? Square. So any question, guys?
No, thank you.
Okay, guys. So here we have what? The condition
No,
for
Mister.
pi and square. So the parallelogram will be, guys, around pi if the square was if diagonals of it are what? Perpendicular. Okay, so any parallelogram whose diagonal perpendicular will be what? Will be a rhombus. Will be what? A rhombus. Okay. If the length of the diagonals are equals, then it is what? It is a rectangle. If the diagonals are perpendicular and equal at the same time, so that means it is what? It will be a square. So any question?